good morning and good afternoon for everybody. After the beginning of my presentation, I would like to say that Guadalajara is most known as the capital of the tequilas world. And in order of that idea, the linkage related with the production of food and other kind of products from the agriculture, it's very important for us and it's part of our identity. And I totally agree with the sentence that Rafael said before. The most important challenge for the metropolis is how to create this link between the rural and urban connections. And we are trying to figure out how is the better ways to create this infrastructure, this framework of law, and also institutional actions to improve that. So, well, in order to present the case of Guadalajara, we prepare 3 lines of discussions. The first one is this, please, the next one. Sorry, if can thank you. Well, the next one also. The first one is this rural-urban composition of the metropolitan area of Guadalajara. As Rafael said, Guadalajara is the second largest Mexican conurbation after the megalopolis of Mexico City. The fact that the 9 municipalities are considered part of the metropolitan area does not mean that all of the territory is necessarily urban. This is an important thing because just the municipality of Guadalajara is 100% urban. Our metropolis comprise urban, semi-urban, and rural areas. And in terms of land uses, more than 300,000 hectares of this land are on development, and the 22% from these hectares remaining are currently urbanized. That means a big part of the metropolis has this potential to for agriculture and other kind of activities. And the inclusion of the municipality of Zapotlanejo into the metropolis contributed significantly in the rise of the undeveloped land, being that of more than 72 total of the municipality, only mere 1% has been urbanized. So this is important because all the metropolis are changing constantly, and we are adding new municipalities, not just for the urban process, more than the rural effects into the metropolis. Well, in this image, you can see what is the composition of our metropolis. So you can see that the municipality of Guadalajara, together with the municipality of Zapopan, has more than the half of the population in this city. Next one, please. One important conclusion is that the dominant use of land in the metropolis is agricultural. The metropolis has 39% of land being used for the purpose, while urbanized zones and human settlements occupy 16% and 5% of land respectively, making up 22% of the metropolitan transformed land. The other important information is the metropolis has 20 urban settlements with 40.1 million inhabitants altogether, and 31 mixed settlements with more than almost 200,000 people living there, and more than 69 rural settlements with around more than 100,000 people living there. So in terms of activities in this rural profile, we have different points of production of different kinds of grains. the case, for instance, the municipality of Zapopan or Tlajomulco, there has a lot of agricultural production. And well, grass, poinsettia, maize, blackberry, peanuts. When in the last 10 years, for instance, the production of berries is very important, not just for the metropolis, also for the state and even for the country. We are the first place in the country in terms of production of berries in the whole Mexico. So this is an important activity for us. Next one, please. So as you can see in this image, well, the main challenge is obviously the land use policies, also the urban sprawl, and also how we can change the dynamic for irregular settlements in the metropolis. You can see this data from 1990 to 2015. The built area in the metropolis doubled from more than 30,000 hectares to 72,000 hectares. So for that reason, we prepare a study and inventory for with the idea to understand this phenomena. And we prepared this study with one NGO called Techo. So in that case, some information that from this study, more than 100 irregular settlements in the metropolis that were interviewed, 60% of the community leaders mentioned that the previous use of land in their areas was agriculture. So we have two ways to change the land use. All of them are related with housing, but in that case is with irregular settlements, and well, this is a big change, a big problem for us. So the next one. So what is the linkages between urban and rural areas? Well, for us, the main problems in the case of the agricultural sector in the metropolis are three. The first one is the limited access to water resources. This is a problem in all Latin America, and I think this is the most common problems in big cities and urban areas and metropolis. The elevated cost of the necessary inputs and resources for agricultural production. This is the main challenge in this topic. The second problem is the low rentability of agricultural products, the negative cost-benefit relationship. Because, well, the paradox is all those settlements are close to the city and markets and change of consumption, but the price of these products, well, is not high, and all these families live under lines of poverty. And the third one is pressure put on by urban sprawl growth. Well, and I think in our case, we changed the agricultural fields for this kind of housing that is not very affordable and is not very nice or good place to be. Next one. So in that scenario, what we are doing? Well, in our case, we create since 2014 this metropolitan governance model. In our case, IMEPLAN is the technical element of this model, but we have other three entities in the metropolitan level that approve, creates, decide, and put on implementation some public policies, not just related with urban policies. In that case, we trying to connect the urban policies with the rural profile of the metropolis, and also with our new plan related with climate change and food security. So you can see in this image that we have the metropolitan agencies for public services. We have the Metropolitan Coordination Board. This is our political entity that this is the maximum level to decision-making process. And also we have the Metropolitan Citizen Council. This is our participatory space for all the public audience. And in that case, we have people from these municipalities with a rural profile. And this is an important element because some decisions and public policies that the metropolis could be decide necessarily have to incorporate the public participation in order to create governance networks. So you can see also all the technical instruments and tools that we develop to create this metropolitan governance model. The next one, please. Well, no, yes, the next one. Is related with our metropolitan policies. We create three strategies and activities with the idea to have an integrated urban-rural approach. The first one is our Metropolitan Plan for Land Uses, known as POTMET. And we have in this technical and legal framework 4 lines of action. The first one is our strategy for the polycentric model of the city and the strengthening of the metropolitan structure. The holistic urban management, for instance, the water resource management. The strategic zones, as known as new sustainable urban settings. And also our green peri-urban system. In that case, we consider the agricultural areas as part of our green peri-urban system because for us, the land use related with agriculture provides not just food, also provide environmental services. So in that order of ideas, for us is super important, this green peri-urban system. The second one is the strategy for the urban-rural linkages from the Metropolitan Development Program. This program contains all the public policies related with the strategic fields of action. For instance, economic development, and transition to clean energies and so on, for mention some public policies. So in that case, we have cartographic studies and the diagnostic of the metropolitan area. For instance, the rural profile of the metropolis is part of this Metropolitan Development Program. And well, we developed this profile with the idea to support to the municipalities to decide better policies coordinated and articulated with the urban process of the metropolis also. So finally, the main strategies and municipal programs for the agricultural sector. We have 9 municipalities and 8 of them has areas specialized and related with rural production and agricultural issues. So we connect with our area of international cooperation in order to create some technical tools to support them. The next one, please. So, well, finally, the next one, please, Rafa. To the other side. That's exactly. So finally, one big issue for all the world now, this COVID-19, and we are the first metropolis in the country and also the states in the country that create and apply this plan Jalisco COVID-19. We put some strategies related with health, employment, security, and mental health also, with the idea to have a big response and a coordinated response to COVID-19. We have some elements like employment, and we have, for instance, the emerging program of people employment and salary protection. We have also the food security program Jalisco Without Hunger, Together for Nutrition, our program of mental health, stay at home, the communication plan. Also, we are trying to present the next week our strategy for the post-COVID-19. And during the pandemic, we create this medical connection. We provide a specialized transportation for medical employments and nurses and all these kind of people that works in the health sector. And well, we create a new hospital infrastructure to attend people with COVID-19. And we develop also our gender-based violence response with the idea to protect also children and women in situations of domestic violence. This is the state level, but also we have some public policies in the municipal level. Next one, please. This is the case of the metropolitan municipalities. For instance, in terms of employment, looking after your job from the municipality of Guadalajara, and also women's economic empowerment made by women. This is another specific public policy for women. Local economic development, we have 3 examples. The municipality of Tonalá Strong. This is aid for craft men and merchants that lives on formality. Zapotanejo, for instance, 100% forgiveness in fees for the payment of property taxes, construction and commercial licenses, water payments, and other type of municipal taxes. And the case of Tlaquepaque, they invest 12 million pesos toward family income support of upwards of 3,000 families. And also we have nutritional programs like 3,000 daily breakfasts in the case of the municipality of El Salto, and 2,000 pantry packages of the most needy in the case of Tlajomulco. And well, in the case of communication, more than 3,000 cell phones, SIM cards with free internet for people to work from home in the case of the municipality of Zapopan. Next one, please. I think this is the last one. Well, to finalize my presentation, I would like to present this new action and governance arrangement. We are trying to identify the post-crisis recovery, and we are working this project, City Regional Approaches, Studies and Analysis about the Metropolitan Region, with the idea to have data and create a new mechanism of governance based on open data, with the idea to support the analysis after COVID and try to identify new ways to recover the new normality. And well, I hope to share in the future some final outcomes of this strategy. So I'm not sure if this is the last one. Yes, this is the final presentation. Well, thank you. I apologize. I think we have a short time to present a lot of ideas. And well, I hope that the example of Guadalajara helps to this discussion. And well, I'm here to the debate.